All right, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. I think about this all the time, and I bet you do too. TV versus mobile devices.
It's a classic debate.
It is. And it's more relevant now than ever, right? I mean, think about it. How much time are we all spending looking at screens these days?
Way too much. At least that's what it feels like sometimes.
Right. And so the question becomes, is one type of screen better than the other? Is watching TV somehow better than scrolling through TikTok?
Well, that's what we're going to try to figure out today.
Exactly. We've got this really interesting debate, almost like a back and forth between two people who are totally passionate about their side. One's all about TV, and the other's team mobile device all the way.
I'm really curious to hear what they have to say.
Me too. So let's dive in and see what they have to say, and maybe, just maybe, we'll learn a little something about ourselves along the way.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so the first thing that really jumped out at me was the argument about the curated experience. Like, the TV advocate is really pushing this idea that TV offers a more controlled, safe environment, especially for families with kids.
That makes sense. You're not just thrown into an endless stream of whatever. You're presented with a selection of shows, hopefully age appropriate and that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes me think about how much we value quality over quantity these days.
Mm,
I mean, there's just so much UCH content out there. It can be overwhelming.
right. We're drowning in information overload, so it's no wonder people are craving a more curated experience. Someone else has already done the filtering for you.
Yeah, totally. And the TV advocate specifically mentions educational channels like National Geographic or Discovery. Like, they're not just mindless entertainment. They can actually teach you something too.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because this really plays into our desire for both entertainment and education. I mean, who wouldn't want to learn about the Amazon rainforest from the comfort of their couch?
Plus, let's be honest, sometimes we just want to zone out and relax without our phone buzzing every 5 seconds with a new notification.
Oh my gosh, yes. The constant notifications are a real struggle. Like, can I just watch this show in peace for a few minutes?
Seriously, it's like a never-ending battle. But okay, so while we're on the subject of distractions, the mobile device advocate has a pretty interesting counter-argument. They're all about versatility and portability.
Which is kind of their biggest selling point, isn't it?
It is. They paint this picture of having a library, a game arcade, and a video store all crammed into your pocket.
I mean, it's true. You can literally access anything you want on your phone. It's kind of amazing when you think about it.
It is pretty wild. Like, I remember back in the day, if you wanted to watch a movie, you had to like physically go to a video store.
Oh, yeah. And if you wanted to learn something, you had to go to the library and hope they had the book you were looking for.
Right. Whereas now it's all just like there.
At your fingertips. It's pretty incredible, honestly. And it really speaks to our need for instant gratification, too.
For sure. And the mobile device advocate also talks about how phones can be amazing learning tools.
Oh, absolutely. You've got educational apps, virtual tutoring, access to digital libraries. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
They even address the whole addiction thing head on.
Oh, right. Because that's like the biggest concern people have with mobile devices, isn't it? That we're all becoming addicted to them.
Exactly. But the mobile advocate's basically saying, hey, it's not about banning phones altogether. It's about using them responsibly.
Which is kind of the key to everything, right? Like with anything in life, moderation is key.
Totally. But I do think it's worth asking, like, what does responsible use actually look like in practice?
That's a great question. I mean, is it setting screen time limits? Being mindful of when and where we use our phones?
Right. It's definitely something we should all be thinking about. Okay, so the TV advocate is not totally convinced, though. They're still worried about the potential negative impacts of excessive mobile device use, especially for kids. They mention things like eye strain, posture problems, and even a lack of outdoor activity.
I mean, those are all valid concerns. There's definitely research out there that suggests a link between too much screen time and certain health risks. But, we have to remember that those same risks can apply to excessive TV watching, too.
That's a good point. It's not like TV is totally innocent in this whole debate.
Exactly. It really all comes back to balance, doesn't it? Whether it's TV or mobile devices, it's about finding that healthy middle ground.
Totally. And I think that's where the moderator comes in. At the end of the debate, they kind of sum up the whole thing by saying that both technologies have their pros and cons, and it's really up to each individual to decide how to use them in a balanced way.
Yeah, I like that. It's not about declaring one side the winner or the loser. It's about recognizing that we all have different needs and preferences, and it's up to us to figure out what works best for us.
Right. And that's what I love about this whole debate. It's not just about TV versus mobile devices. It's about taking a step back and really examining our relationship with technology as a whole.
Absolutely. It's about asking ourselves, how can I make this technology work for me, rather than letting it control me?
Yes, it's about being mindful and intentional with our screen time. And I think that's a great takeaway for all of us, whether we're Team TV or Team Mobile Device.
Couldn't agree more.
So there you have it, folks. Another deep dive complete. We covered a lot of ground today, but the conversation doesn't have to end here. We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on TV versus mobile devices? How do you find that balance in your own life? Hit us up on social media and let us know.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Until next time.
See ya.